Hello, 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 hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to this Bold and Raw Talks with me, Benjamin. And today, as you can see on the screen, I have a topic that I've been wanting to do with my guest. Is it possible to co-parent? This means raising a child or children together with your ex-partner or your ex-spouse. So if you are a person who has been separated from your son or your daughter or your children, this video is for you. And even for you who are parents who are still together, you never know the future. You never know what's going to happen between the two of you. Life can be very, very interesting and turn to something that you never expected. And you might end up separated between you and your partner. So I want to encourage you to share the video, tag your friend, your family member, wherever they are. My guest has an experience on raising children together with her ex, and she's going to share her story, how she's been doing it, and hopefully she will advise you as a man or as a woman, as a father or as a mother, on what you can do to also get into this. So this is something that I don't want you to miss for the next 1 hour. And my guest is getting ready. She's already in the studio. I want you to share and tag your friends on the comments. And this is very, very important for you as a parent who is actually raising a child on your own or not doing it together with your partner or your ex-partner. All right. So I'm going to bring her on the screen, and then we start this talk right now in the next few seconds. I can see she's ready. And here we go. Hello there, Doroh.
Hi, how are
Hi
you?
there.
I'm good.
Yes, welcome to this talk today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for deciding to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, really thank you. And I hope that in our talk today, people are going to learn so much from you and your experiences as we try to give them the knowledge and the skills on what to do about this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we start with the basics, introduction. Some people are watching you here on my Facebook page and even in my YouTube. They don't know you. Please introduce yourself and say hello to the viewers.
My name's Dorothy Ogega. I live in Indianapolis, or rather to be specific, I live in Greenwood, Indiana. I've been here for a little over 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
Was married here in the U.S. to a Kenyan man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm one of those people who came to the U.S. to get married to a Kenyan Kisi man. People
All right.
always tease me on that.
Yeah.
I've raised 3 sons
Mm-hmm.
who are my pride and joy,
Mm-hmm.
and of course continue to be. And I was married for 21 years.
Wow, 21 good years.
Yes, so I have a
Yes.
lot of experience here.
All right.
So when I speak here, I know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
21 solid years. I can say there were 19 of
19
those
years
years.
together.
19 of those years we were together, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But those were very happy years.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like a miserable marriage of 21 years. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
All
2
right.
years is when we were trying to figure out the divorce thing and the bitterness and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a mother, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a business. I'm a nurse by profession,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a business owner too.
Yep.
And technically, that's me.
That's Doroh. Dorothy. Is Doroh Dorothy?
Yeah, Doroh. People just call me Doroh.
People call you Doroh, but
Yeah.
in the
Depends
real
where I
sense,
am.
you're Dorothy. This is your Facebook name, Doroh
Yes.
Oh. You say Doroh Oh.
Yeah, Doroh Oh.
Okay. All right. Just just wave to the viewers who are watching here.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hello, everyone who is tuned in here. We're going to give some quick shout outs to some of the people who have joined here. Lydia Skerubo. Just say hello to Lydia Skerubo, Doroh, if
Hi,
you can.
Lydia. How are you doing? Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lydia Kusimba, another Lydia Kusimba is here.
Hey, Hi, Lydia Kusimba. How are
Another
you?
Lydia Kabungo.
Wow. Are you sure you just didn't share this to Lydia's?
No, no, no,
Hey,
no. I'm
Lydia
picking out the Lydias
Kabungo.
today.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
Lydias like you,
And thank
Benjamin.
you so much. We cannot say hello to all of you one by one, but thank you for finding time to join me together with Doro. And I hope that our talk is going to not only inspire you, but to educate you as a mother or as a father who is in this situation. And you have a compliment here from Helen Remy. She says that you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Helen. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Helen
much.
Remy. Thank you so much. I hope you have shared the video and you have tagged your friends as we go on. All of you have shared the video. Thank you so much. And all of you have tagged your friends. Thank you. Thank you. One more. Let me recognize one more man here, Monari Denilson. Talk to us, please, who are in months of relationship and already fighting.
Don't worry, you'll get some tips after we're done here today.
Okay. But
Yeah.
for you, you've been, you said you were married for 21 years. But
Yes.
19 years were pure happiness and not
Yes.
really a miserable marriage.
No, it wasn't.
I
Yeah.
want us to begin now with the 2 years of when the marriage was not okay. Those 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take us through what exactly was happening?
Um, I
After
will.
19 years having this, you said 3 sons. You have 3 sons?
Yes, I have three
Yeah.
sons. I have a 22-year-old,
22-year-old
a
son, the
20 year
firstborn?
old, almost 21. Actually, my 22 is almost 23, actually.
Wow.
And my next son is going to be 21, and the baby is 18.
Okay. So
So I have
23,
adults, yeah.
22, 18,
No,
and
23, 21, 18. Let's put it that way.
23,
Yeah.
21, and 18.
Mm-hmm.
So you have seen teenagers, 3 men, raising 3 men.
I literally raised 4 men because I
Yeah.
had the husband.
And the husband too.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it was me raising 4 men, and that's a tough job.
It's really, really tough.
Yeah.
I hosted a lady who talked about raising 3 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared with you the YouTube link with you.
Yes, yes.
And she called them 3 angels, almost the same ages like you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still raising them on her own back there in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Let's begin,
Uh,
Doro. Yeah. Let's
may I say
begin with the
something
two
about the
years.
daughters?
Yeah? Sorry?
May I say something there? May I make a
Yes.
comment?
Yes, you can make a comment.
I thank God for giving me sons. I always joke that if He had given me daughters, probably you would be seeing my mugshot on TV.
Yes.
Because I don't know, I don't like myself that much, so I don't know how I would raise another person like me, who looks like me. It would be a problem.
So you believe that for you to have the 3 sons is actually much better for you.
It's a blessing for
It's a
me, yeah.
blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. Ladies, I don't know what you think. If you're a mother and you're watching this, raising a son or a daughter, which one is a blessing and which one is tough? Basing on your own experience, let me know in the comments there. Raising a son or raising a daughter as a mother, which one is a little bit challenging and which one is much more difficult or which one is easier? So, Doro, let's go back to the question I was just asking you. The 2 years when things were not okay, what exactly happened?
Uh, I really try to be especially now that we're friends. I really try to be discreet about that. But I'll give a general statement so that people know that as happy as you might be, you could be totally in love. Everything looks like, kila kitu ni sawa. Anything can happen. And in our situation, it was a situation of where to avoid either bashing my partner or anything. It's just a situation where I would say 3 was a crowd. 3 became a crowd, and mistakes were made. And I just couldn't deal with it. It's that situation where I wasn't raised in a polygamous setting.
Was your
Even
ex-husband raised in a polygamous family?
no, not his
So,
family. No, my in-laws, they're not polygamous.
so
But
both of you are not from polygamous families?
yeah, but his grandpa was.
Ah.
My grandpa wasn't. So for me, I had deep roots. So it's not one of those things that I was just going to sit down and settle and say, well, tuishi. I think I love myself more than that.
Yeah.
So that was our situation.
Uh-huh.
But again,
You
divorce.
mentioned mistakes, so would you like to just briefly highlight some of those mistakes? There are so many mistakes people make, like checking on the
Oh,
phone or somebody controlling you. Who are you talking with? Some of the topics that I raise on my shows. So, what are some of those mistakes that
okay,
build up
mistakes.
to
We
your
didn't
to
have.
your breakup?
We didn't have stupid mistakes like checking each other's phones. And for the people who are listening here, I want to advise you, and I'm advising you from someone with experience. I'm veering off a little bit, but I'll be back, Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, when you touch someone's phone, you're going to find what you're looking for, whether it's a female, whether it's a man. So that part, we took care of it a long time ago, and we were happy on that part. Like literally, I've never had the desire to touch his phone, and he really never did.
Yeah.
But controlling, it'd be very hard for someone to control me. I have a very independent mind, and I think that's why I lived for those many years with him. He was not that kind of a person who want to control. He was very supportive on most of the things I did because I'm a strong personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, just my personality is pretty strong. So he never controlled me, and those. So I would, if those were there, I would not even have made it to maybe 5 years. So
So what you're saying, the viewers who are watching you, don't touch someone's phone. Are you encouraging
usishike aki,
spouses? Yeah,
kama
yeah,
unataka shida, don't touch someone's phone. Enda shika
yes.
simu ya mtu, you'll have a problem. You'll find what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now let's go back to those mistakes, little mistakes or bigger mistakes, if you want to say,
Okay.
and then finally divorce and separation.
I think mistakes were made where I also made mistakes, and my
Yep.
mistakes were I overreacted, and I made some decisions that probably as a woman were not the best at that time. Because
Okay.
when hurt shows up in your marriage, and you feel like you're losing someone, you go through different stages, and there are 4 stages here. One stage is confusion, the other stage is revenge, and then you go to bitterness, and then you'll be back to healing slowly, and that takes years. It doesn't take a year or months as other people say. So the confusion kicked in, and for me it was just a flight, like a reaction. I just wanted out. So at that point, the things that I did, I want to say that I did not think about my children really much. But again, I was in a confusion state. This is a woman who's been happy. Then boom, something has showed up that you don't even understand. And don't get me wrong, I loved this man very, very much. And
Okay.
that's another thing I want to warn people. Women,
Yeah.
live a little bit for yourself.
Yes. You really, really loved him. And you say that at the moment as you're speaking, for those viewers who are just joining, you're still, you're now friends, quote unquote, with your
Yes.
ex-husband. You're still
Yes.
friends now.
Yes, but we had to go through all those stages that I named there. That's confusion,
Confusion,
revenge,
revenge,
bitterness,
bitterness.
and bitterness stays. I mean, it prolongs for a while, and then healing.
Oh.
And when I say healing, doesn't mean that when you meet you start playing hacky panky. No, don't. Just ati mnakumbuka mambo ya zamani, wazee tukumbuke, those little things. Those will confuse you, and probably you'll go back to the confusion state. Then maybe you get back together, and to a bad situation.
Okay.
So healing and bitterness and healing are the longest here. But
Yeah.
once you cross the bitterness, you're good.
Your revenge. Let's mention briefly about revenge, because sometimes when people are going through a lot of drama, when the bitterness is so much, you are
Yes.
tempted to revenge. And some revenges can even include even killing, even murdering, of course, or doing something to hurt the other person. Did you contemplate a revenge, or did you actually do something to revenge when you're going through the confusion?
Oh yes, but I didn't. Of course, I didn't contemplate murder because
Yeah,
we all the five of us are still intact, so
yeah.
we're all here.
You didn't think of about how can I kill this man so that
No,
I
no,
remove
I
him
think
from
I
my
loved
life.
him too. I loved him
Yeah,
too much to even
yeah,
ever think of him not being there.
yeah. Okay.
As much as yes, I didn't like him that time, but there's that love you have for someone that will not allow you to want to do something to hurt them, like physically.
Yeah.
So my revenge was stupid, and that's where my mistakes were. And
You call it stupid revenge.
yes, stupid
Okay.
revenge and
Yeah.
stupid revenge. Where here I was, a very faithful girl. I got married to this man when I was 20. Can you believe it?
20 years old.
20 years old. I saw this man, and the
Yeah.
more, and I think when anybody would tell me you're too young, they were just telling me to hurry up and marry him. So we got married. We were both young. He
And how
was
old was he?
22. So we were young.
22.
So
Wow.
we started from scratch.
22-year-old married a 20-year-old.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I can I'm just imagining that kind of
And
marriage.
one day, maybe with his permission, I will come
Yeah.
here and explain our life, where we started from. Because people look at us right now and they think we were just either just successful and they can just jump into that life. No, 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 no. We started from zero.
Wow.
The song that you started from the bottom, now you're here, that talks
That's
about
the
me.
song. That's the song. Guys,
Yeah.
keep on sharing the video. If you're watching for the first time, share the video, tag a friend. This is a love story that turned out to be another different love story, full of drama and full of another ending. But the main topic that we are having today is about co-parenting, which is raising children together. Another parent who you have separated with also participating or doing the duties a parent should do to raise the child. So, Doro, we go on, and then you mentioned something that you are the one who started this divorce. You are the one who wanted a divorce,
Uh
or
yes.
who really wanted.
Yes, I was
Sometimes there's one
confused.
partner who wants it and pushes for it.
Of course, I wanted it so much, but you see, honestly, I didn't know what I wanted.
You're just confused.
Yeah, very
And
confused. I
the
didn't know what I
confusion
wanted.
is like you wanted to stay there for children or you wanted to give it time. What was this confusion about?
The confusion is, and I'm glad I'm in this stage right now. I don't live for people anymore. You're sitting there and you're wondering, oh, if we break up, what will the community think of me? What will so and so think of? There's all those questions, and those are very normal questions to come through your head as a woman. I don't know, as a man. I don't know whether
Yeah.
you guys think of those, but
Man, I don't know. I need to host another man who has gone through this to share his story. Yeah, so you had so many questions and so many doubts about what people will think, what
yes,
will the
kind
society
of
say
run down.
Doro has divorced. Yeah, you had all those questions.
This Doro has been happy. We were the Actually, after during our separation is when I found out we were role models to many people. People were looking at our marriage. We were friends. We were just not husband and wife. We were very close friends. People admired the way we did things. So here we're going to break that, and people have not seen the cloud.
Behind the
We were
scenes,
good, and then
vitu kwa ground vile zimekuwa zikifanyika wako wanaona.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we were the kind of people who we used to host in our house a lot. People got to meet in our house.
Wow.
Honestly, since we divorced, the get togethers in Indiana don't happen, and they still blame us.
Yeah. So
They
you
blame
mean
us.
like guys could come to your house for the barbecue parties,
Barbecues,
get
anything,
togethers,
any reason.
but behind the scenes, you guys were going through a lot. Just the two of you.
No, most of the time we were happy. We were
You're just
happy.
happy, yeah.
But
But those 2
then the
years,
last 2 years,
yeah, we are
yes,
talking
I
about
try
those
to
two
hide.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to hide, but then there's some things you really can't hide. They're just there, and you can't pretend for too long. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, talk to yourself, and be real with yourself.
Were you posting some stuff online that you are okay? Did you post pictures together during those 2 years?
During the 2 years, I think the two final years, I think we posted maybe one family picture. Maybe it was a Christmas picture, which 2 years ago I posted a Christmas picture of all of us. So it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
That was after the healing, you see?
Yeah, after the
Oh,
healing. But
yeah.
you posted a picture even when you are fighting and when you're
Uh,
contemplating to divorce.
I try to be real with myself. So there's some things I will not post in social media that I'm happy, yet I'm suffering inside. And that's one thing I want to advise everybody.
Talk to the
First of
people who are
all,
watching here who are couples posting stuff online and they are going through a lot of things. Talk to them directly.
yeah, those people that are here, don't, first of all, your social media shouldn't be your life. Your life should not be on social media like everything. If you follow my social media history, I never even addressed my divorce. I never say that, oh, or I mean, much later I did announce that I was single, like just, on those little settings. But I've never discussed my marriage. I've never discussed my partner. And Benjamin, I think, has been requesting me from 2 years ago, actually,
Oh
talk
man.
about it.
I wanted this show for I have talked with so many ladies who are in this situation. All of them they kept on telling me, Benjamin, give me time. Benjamin, give me time. I'm healing. I'm healing. I started talking to you 2018. I remember very well.
So it's actually more than 2 years.
More
Yeah.
than 3 years. More than
Yeah.
3 years.
So the
Yeah.
thing is, if you had talked to me in 2018, oh my goodness, you would have gotten a totally different
Different
human
Doroh.
being, and I would be very bitter, and that would not be good. Right now, I'm talking to you. I'm going to be objective in a lot of
Yeah.
things, because I will not be pouncing and hitting my spouse with I can see my mistakes, and I also address his mistakes. So the healing part, when someone tells you, give me time, just give them time. The
Yep.
healing part
I
is
remember you told me, Benjamin, give me time. I will come to your show. Just give me time. And I said, okay, I'm going to be patient. I'm very patient.
yeah.
And here we are. We are talking about it now, finally, after 3 years.
Yes.
Yes. So there's social media people who try to post stuff and claim that they are perfectly okay. Even those, like a question, somebody was saying they start fighting within 1 year. But 1 year, they are still posting stuff online. People post stuff to tell the viewers and the likes and the comments that things are okay. I'm happily married. I'm in a relationship. This is my man. This is my woman. But they are actually, it's the opposite.
Yeah. Social media, you have to be very careful. If you look at my history, I normally post my kids, what's going on with my kids, any developments. I have a little granddaughter now,
Uh-huh.
she's the center of my life, so I post her quite a bit. And
Yep.
those are the things that I post. But when it comes to my family, clearly everybody on social media that follows me, they know I'm divorced. I've been very clear about that. And I've never come on social media and posted any man and saying that this is the man that I'm dating. So little things like those,
Yeah.
especially Kenya wetu, these Kenyans
Yeah.
of ours, Kenyans
Yes.
have free bundles. Hey,
Yeah. The relatives online would like to
yeah,
know.
you
You used to
in-laws,
post a
they have
man,
free
you
bundles.
used to
You go
post a
there.
woman. What happened? They need to know.
Yeah, if you start
What?
sharing with them that, oh,
Yes.
this is my boyfriend or this is my fiance, they start follow. First of all, the first encouragement word they give you is mutawachana tu.
Yeah. You will break
So
up. It
so
will
it's
end in premium
negative,
tears.
negativity. And then if
Yes.
something happens, they'll be there cheering on. So unless you're really sure, I advise people, don't even post. If you have to share to people that you're married, share your wedding picture, because at that point nobody can do anything.
Yeah. You already did it.
Share your wedding picture, and
Yeah.
don't parade someone that you're really not sure about. And I never did that even in my marriage. Of course, during the marriage, we shared pictures. We were a very happy family. But when the darkness came, I backed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. There are some comments coming here. Farmer Bonita says, Benjamin, you made you do it. I made you to finally come and talk. So I can say thanks. I did my best to continue doing my shows online, and
Yes.
finally here we are. So I can really, really say that I'm grateful. I continue doing these shows, and finally
Is she laughing?
she's laughing. Yeah, she's saying, I think Benjamin made you to finally come here and talk. Bundesiana says, absolutely true privacy has power.
Has power.
Yeah. And then finally, let's see one more comment here from the viewers. Uh, um, okay, let me see here. Evans Nyabuto was also talking about the phones. Prohibited areas like phone. Where are you coming from? Avoid those things. Don't control
Yes, we're
another human being.
grown-ups.
Yeah. All right. So, Doro, we're moving on to the main topic here, the co-parenting.
Thank you. Ooh.
Obviously, after the divorce comes with so many things, emotional and going to the lawyers. And we are not focusing on that on this talk. Probably we'll talk about the process of divorce, because it's a very, the few guests I've hosted here, they have talked about the journey and what it means to divorce. And some people don't really know that divorcing is actually a very, very tedious process.
Mine took 2 years.
It took you 2 years to finally sign the papers.
Not to finally sign the papers. We actually signed the papers quick, but
You already signed the
but
papers, and
because we
then
were together for so long, there's something called asset division. We've acquired so much together. So that becomes really tough. That's where the lawyers really spend your money. Yeah.
can you briefly mention how much you spent, roughly? So somebody who is planning to divorce, to know that they need to have money to talk to the lawyers. Like, on a roughly, how much did you
my
put?
divorce, actually, I spent over $10,000 just on my part. That's not on his part.
10,000 US dollars. That's like 1 million
And I
Kenya
think
shillings.
He spent more. He spent more on his part.
The ex-husband spent more. So if you're planning to divorce, remember it's very expensive. And it's not something that you can do when you are happy, or generally. I don't know if they are peaceful divorces or a happy divorce. I really don't know.
Husbands, be careful. The divorce, at the end of the day, even if your wife spends money, at the end of the day, the judge might make you pay all the money that your wife spent on the divorce. Yeah. So I don't know why it's that way, but in America, mostly the male spouse, is that right?
Yes. The man.
The man
The boy
will
child,
end up-
the
will
man
end
child has to suffer the more.
will end up paying the divorce costs for
Okay.
the wife. Whatever I spent, I got it back. So
All
it's-
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so if you're watching again one more time, please share the video, tag a friend. We are half the way of this show, and we are moving on to the next segment, which is the co-parenting, which means you and your separated boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, that you are trying to raise a child together or children together. And this is where I want you to pay attention. If you're a mother or a father, Doro is going to really share her personal experience. The question that we have there on the screen, is it really possible? Let me ask you as a viewer, do you believe it is possible for two people who have separated to raise their child or their children together? Let me know in the comment there. Type there yes and no. Is it possible, or it's absolutely impossible with this generation or this kind of men or women? Ladies, is it possible to raise a child together with an ex-man, an ex-boyfriend, an ex-husband? And you as a man, is it possible to do it with an ex? Let's see on your comments right now before Doro shares her story. Please share your story, share your comments there. All right. So, Doro, as we are waiting for the comments there, Amy Chloe says the lady is beautiful. Lillian Lean says, Doro, you are smart. Thank you for those compliments.
Thank you.
So Amy Chloe is the first one to say that it's possible. It's possible to raise a child with the ex-partner. And she also gives you a compliment. This lady is beautiful.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you
Thank you,
very much.
Amy. Thank you for the compliment.
Mhm.
One more comment here. Let me see. Esther Modoni says it's not possible.
Esther.
All right. Michael Rushoki says, I'm already co parenting, though it's challenging at times. We're going to be talking about those challenges. Thank you for your comment there. Tasila Murungi, possible our boss lady got 3 baby daddies and all in the same WhatsApp group, co parenting. Oh my goodness.
Eh? Who's
The
that?
man has 3 baby, huh? The lady has got 3 baby daddies.
And sometimes life can lead you that way because maybe you're trying to find happiness and you end up having babies and shady men. Sorry,
Yeah.
or a shady woman. It's
Yes.
both ways, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
people you can't live with. So we cannot also beat up people who have 2 or 3 or 4 baby daddies. We can't beat them up because you
It
really
happens.
don't
That's
know.
life. That's
You
life.
really
Yeah.
don't know what someone's situation is, and I would really, really have a problem for someone who judges people who are like that.
Yeah.
And that's
We're
a
not
topic
judging
for
them.
another day. And we
It's a
should
topic
talk
for
about
another day.
that one day.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tasila, for sharing. Aleki Gathai. Benjamin, it's possible we should not make our children suffer.
Yes. And I'm going
Rachel
to talk
Wangari
about that.
says, yes, it's very possible. Nginam Chelsea, yes, as long as he or she doesn't step to your business or your privacy. Those are the challenges. Bundesiana, it can be possible with the proper agreement.
Yes.
Okay, you have another more compliment here, Frida Ongachi. She's so pretty.
Oh, Frida, thank you.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you guys are going to make me blush.
All right, Nikome, goodbye. Yes, it is if parents are not selfish. Okay, thank you so much for your feedback, guys. Continue sharing the video. We will read all your comments later on. Let's go back to our guest. We are talking about co-parenting now. So, Doro, I will begin with a very straightforward question. Is it easy to co-parent with a Kenyan man or an African man
In my
or with a man?
situation, in
Is
my
it
situation,
easy?
I had a Kenyan man, a Kissy man. So,
Yes.
and I'm Kissy. But yes, it's very possible. But again, I have to go back to the stages of divorce or separation
Yes.
that I told you: the confusion, revenge, bitterness, and healing. The confusion part, you're still confused, you're still together, you're raising kids, but you're very selfish at that point.
Yes.
Both of you are very selfish because I'm only worried about, I mean, why the heck would you treat me like, the kids kind of get left ignored at that point.
They are left in the hang. Yeah, they're in the middle
Yes,
between two people fighting.
yes, and that's a very bad stage. The revenge really has nothing to do with the kids, but at the revenge, we have some weak adults that will try to use your child to hurt you. That's when you're trying to make a child think that that you're better than the mother, or the dad is bad, so you're trying to use your kid to hurt the other person. That's also a very dangerous stage.
Okay.
The bitterness stage,
My
anything
goodness.
can happen. Yes. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Uh,
And it is very, very sad that
yes.
the people that I love the most in this world, and those are my 3 boys. I mean, I breathe those children. They went through those stages and they survived it. And
How old was your firstborn when you were divorcing?
that was in 2015, and it was
So minus quick
20,
math, minus 6 years,
it
and
was
he's 22.
17. Yeah,
He was 17 years old when you're
that's a very
divorcing.
dangerous stage
It's
of
a
life.
very dangerous age, I can
Yeah.
imagine. He was 17, and then you're divorcing. So the bitterness was in you, the bitterness was in those kids,
And in their dad, all
and
of
in
us.
there. So all of 5
Yeah.
of you had all different kinds of bitterness.
Yes, and all I can say is, when it comes to boys, of course, boys and I'm saying this with conviction, boys are very attached to their mother,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean that they don't love their father. Because
Boys are attached to their mothers,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean that they don't love their father.
Yes, because
Very
that's their
powerful.
father. Yeah, a child is dealt one mother and one father. That is how God made it. Except in special situations where we have foster kids or adopted kids. Yeah.
So this son
So
or your sons already know this is our dad
yes,
and this
and
is
this
our
is our
mom.
mom, and they love us. Let me tell you, don't think they love you more than the other. They can be attached to me, but they love us equally.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't go there saying that, oh, it's all me. My children are. Let me tell you, your children, maybe you might pull them towards you and make the other person look bad, but those kids will open their eyes sooner than later, and they will find their father, and they'll probably resent you for making them see their father a certain type of way. So don't do
So
it.
as you're saying, what you're saying, even the parents who are watching here, they should not imagine that their kids don't really love their missing parent.
No, they
They
do.
still know that
Yes.
that is our dad, that is our mom, and they
Yes.
still love them even though they're away.
100%. The same way they love you is the same way they love that other parent. Hata
Yes.
akikuwa ni ule mlevi mwenye anaanguka kwa barabara,
It's still the dad.
bado,
This is
yes,
dad.
it's still the dad. So just remember that little factor. And so my
So you
children,
had all the bitterness. Yeah.
yes, my children, I always say that my kids are where they are because I do have successful children. They're doing well. But it's not,
Congratulations.
I
Yeah.
can't say it's me that I did it. No, it is God, I'm telling you. Because if it wasn't for God's grace in our family to even get us to a point of healing, our children would be in the system right now. Maybe they would be drug addicts. Maybe they would be, just out there on the streets. I would have no control over them.
Yeah.
But they're doing
You couldn't
well.
even be talking right now.
We
You could
couldn't
have
even be
told me,
talking.
Benjamin, I can't share any story. My kids are becoming hard
Yes,
for me to
yes,
raise them.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But
So the
God,
bitterness, like from 2015 after the divorce, then they are bitter, you are bitter. Then you had some support. You said your family supported you or friends and God
at that point, let me tell you, you know who your true friends are when
when
you're going
you
through
separate,
divorce.
when you're going through divorce.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. And my ex-husband, he had a different concern. I think he got beat up so much by the community, and I remember one comment he made to me much later is like, Dorothy, I think all the friends we had, they were really not my friends. They were your friends more than they were my friends.
Those guys who used to come for barbecues, the
Yes, because I think
get-togethers.
all of
Yeah.
them rallied to support me. But again, because they just knew, they didn't know
The truth.
the deep truth of this.
Yeah.
I wish they were also there for him. We needed them on both sides. But there's some things you men do that the public does a surface assessment. And I think that's what people did, a surface assessment on me. And there's some things that I've done. I have a good heart generally.
Yeah.
So people were looking at, what have I done for this guy, for him to have done this? They were just making judgments, and automatically they pulled away from him and more to me.
So they left him alone to fight the whole bitterness on his own.
Yeah, and at that point I was like, yes, I
This
was
is
feeling
it. Now
good.
the
Yeah,
karma is hitting him
yeah.
hard.
But
Yeah.
now, no, I don't
Yeah.
see it that way. Yeah, I see it differently.
And talking
So,
of karma, people believe in karma. I don't know. Do you believe in karma?
oh yeah, karma is yeah, you
Yeah.
know what they say. It
Oh,
is
okay.
true. It
Let's
is
not talk
true.
about it.
It
Okay.
is true.
But
Karma.
when he was separated from you and all these friends who are supporting you, giving you this support system, you are kind of feeling, yes, huu
Yes,
jamaa
nimeweza.
napitia.
Yeah, but no, when I think about it now, no, that was wrong.
That was wrong.
Yes, it was wrong. Because what I said, my kids survived that confusion, and that is not us, it's by the grace of God. And when we got now to the healing process, which our healing process actually started late 2019.
From 2015 to 2019, those are
Remember,
four
our
years.
divorce, we started our process in 2015, like the separation process, where we're
Yeah.
still married, but we're not sure. We're still in the same house. I'm not sure if I want to see you here. You're not sure, And it was a very confusion. That's confusion, very confusing stage, where sometimes you're even sometimes sleeping in the same bed,
But
but
no,
you don't want each other, and
no
things
touching
like
each other.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the confusion. And then, so it took 2 years for our divorce to even go through.
And those 2 years, you're still together in the same house.
No, 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 no. At some point, we
You at
had,
some point you had to move to
yeah,
another
yeah.
house.
He had
Yeah.
to leave the marital, we call it
The
it was like
marital home.
the marital home. So I was
Yeah.
there with the boys. And then at that time, I'm very confused. I'm like, oh my God, a lot of emotions go through you. Like, okay, here I am. And you can make a mistake at that point too, because you're feeling, I've never been
Guilty.
alone in my life. I mean,
Yeah.
I came from my parents straight to this man at 20 years old. I've spent more than half my life with him, and then he's not there. So at that point, I can easily make a mistake and go back or bring him back. And I'm not happy, you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it becomes a toxic situation where, though I think people get to that point where violence comes in, is when you're allowing toxic situations to just gongana.
I have those so many stories. When I do
Yeah,
my Sunday question
gongana.
and answer session, most ladies ask me, Benjamin, my ex or the father of my child wants me back. Should I go back? They are there. They're like thinking, should I accept? Should I go back?
Don't even think about it when you're on those early stages of divorce, of separation. Don't even think. You can think about it after healing.
After
So,
healing, you can consider.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So our healing actually really started late 2019.
These 4 years, I'm very emotional with I want the emotions to come out clearly. The 4 years, I'm picturing the three boys. Obviously, the firstborn could understand what is going on.
But my
All
two
of them.
older kids understood what was going on.
The one was 17, the other one was 15. Of course, they're asking you questions. Mom, what's going on?
No, they knew. They knew.
They knew.
And, our situation got to a point where they could see some things. And as I said, my boys, and one thing they tell me, Mom, based on what we saw you guys going through, we've learned lessons from that, and we will be upstanding men. And one of my sons has his own home right now. He has his fiance and a child.
Yeah.
And I can just see that he's working so hard not to even
To make it
attempt
work.
making the mistakes that we made, and that makes me proud.
That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. Of course, they asked you questions, and sometimes they were like, they were confused,
They
they
were
were
bitter
bitter.
too.
They were very bitter.
Very
Yeah.
bitter. Yeah.
Did they at one point tell you, hey, Mom, why don't you guys stay together?
No, I remember this is a statement from my two oldest kids. Maybe I'll let you read that in my book when
Okay. All right.
I'll leave that
Okay.
alone.
Yes,
But
yes.
they didn't want to see me like that, because they saw a part of me that they had never seen. And I'm sure they didn't want to see their dad the same way too, because
Yeah.
that's the other half of them, That's the part we forget. We forget that our kids are made of two of our halves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting off the topic. We need to get to the co-parenting.
Co-parenting. Yeah. Okay, we have dwelled so much about that separation because that one also brings the challenges. The way you divorce and the healing process. Some people take longer to heal. The bitterness can, you see, like you mentioned, the reason why we are dwelling on that part is that the bitterness can prolong. There are people who are watching here, they separated 8 years ago, but they are still bitter.
They need to get out of that.
And now they are thinking of, should I now introduce the dad? Should I bring the dad? But they are still bitter.
Okay, first of all, I want to talk to my fellow women. I don't know about you guys. Men, I think men, you guys were born by the same mother. Sorry, don't throw stones at me.
Yes.
But
Talk to the ladies who are
I
watching.
want to
Yes.
talk to the ladies. Ladies, when you're in a situation like me, when you have children and you're divorcing or you're separating, be very careful introducing other men or other uncles to those children,
Yeah.
because the children are going through a lot of bitterness at that point. I'm not telling you not to date or not to have fun. If that's you, if you can have fun, or you want to date, you want to see other people, just for you to heal, do it, but do it totally away from your kids. Your kids should never meet this person.
No introducing other man.
Don't do that. That will, your children will end up doing all the other bad things,
In other words, you're saying
especially if you have
for
boys
those,
like me.
yeah. So
Don't
in
do
other
it.
words, what you're saying, for those 5 years from 2015 all the way up to around 2019, you never did that. You never introduced them to any man.
I'm not saying I didn't talk to any man.
Yeah, you talked to some men, of
Yeah,
course.
but
Yeah.
introducing my children to any person, they never, first of all, I introduced them to someone, of course, 2019, but they never got to meet him. Thank God.
Okay. You just mentioned like
No,
there's the
they knew that we are having this
they knew
serious.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, if we had gotten to a point of them meeting him, and it's a good person too. I'm lucky. I get to meet good people.
God bless you for that.
My ex-husband, he was not a bad man either, by
All
the
right.
way,
Okay.
based on what I'm telling
Good,
you.
good. We stick to the topic. You mentioned, let's stick to the topic now, the co-parenting.
Yes.
So after those 4 years, now did the bitterness reduce in your
Yes.
children? It
Yes.
started to go down.
As a mother, I worked so hard to fix my children, because my oldest son especially was very, very bitter with the dad.
With the dad.
Yes.
Yes.
So I had to condition his mind. I mean, you only dealt one dad in your life.
Yeah.
You have to fix these. You have to work on this. So I worked in fixing their relationship.
And that is one area of co-parenting where the other parent poisons the other child, poisoning the child and telling him or her, your dad is a monster. Your dad is very bad.
Never did that. You let your child. These kids are grown. These kids they have their minds of their own. Let them make what they want to make out of it. Even if, yes, the other party is just a bad person, and your child can see that, be the bigger person and condition your child's mind that this is your father at the end of the day.
So you kept on talking to them
Yes.
over and over. This is your
And
dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And 2019, between all those years, we used to have, we're the family that would take Christmas pictures every year,
Yeah.
portraits. And of course, there was a gap in there where he was not in our pictures. And 2019, I invited him,
Wow.
and the kids were confused. I'm like, yeah, I mean, he's your dad.
Is daddy coming
Let's
back?
pictures.
Yes.
So then we started just this friendship. We would all go out. Okay, it's someone's birthday. Before, yes, even if we had bitterness during someone's birthday, we would kind of go out. But I'm looking at you. I feel like I want to shoot you, but we're just existing for a minute.
Yeah.
But now we started like, oh, can we go out? We can go out together and have breakfast, have dinner. Just it started becoming more
Slowly by slowly, yeah, more and more
yeah.
closer.
And then at some point he would come home. I remember 2019 Christmas, he came home. I mean, instead of us going out, we had dinner here. And for my children, they're like, man, you could see they were getting happy. I'm telling you.
On their faces and the way they
Yes.
reacted. Yeah, daddy's
Yes, when
back
you
home.
guys are getting along. And it's not about daddy's back.
Yeah.
It's about you guys are in good space. It's not necessarily dad is back. No. Dad has his own life. I have my own life. We made that very clearly.
Yeah.
So between 2019 and now it's 2021, I'm telling you, we're perfect.
Wow.
And to a point where people even started, we have those family members who are monitoring spirits.
Yes, of course.
They're watching, those distant family
Kamati and
members.
Rochafu, they are following. They are
Yeah, they're
following this
following.
story.
They've started
They are following
rumors.
the story closely. Yes.
Oh, those two are back together. Oh, no, we are not.
Yes.
But we're in very good space, and we're happy. And our children, I wish these happened when they were a little younger. But now we are in good space when they're adults. But still, I'm telling you, I think right now, if my dad divorces my mom, as I'm over 40 right now, I think it will still hurt me as their
Wow.
child.
I've
Yeah.
seen a very interesting comment here, Doroh. Tasila Murugi says, I wanted to, I wanted the so-called co-parenting so much, but that son of Pharaoh wanted to chew, to chew me again for him to cooperate. And when I refused, akalenga your story, 8 years down the line, still single parenting and doing good. So let's address this thing of the ex-partner still wants to have sex with you just because you are the mother.
As a woman,
How did you deal with that, and what can you tell the people going through that?
that is so those people are still in the confusion stage. They're still confusing
Confusion,
each other.
yes.
Yeah, they're still confused. Yeah, they have not really dealt with their issues very well. And let me tell you, I'm not a bad looking woman.
Definitely.
So I'm sure my ex somewhere sits down and wonders, oh crap, man,
Yes.
how did I let that go? And it's gonna hurt him
Talk to the
so much.
men. I really want you to address the
Yes, I'm
men
gonna
who,
talk to the
after
men.
separation, yes,
I'm gonna
they
talk to
still
the
want to
men.
have sex with a woman. They
Yes,
still want to
they
have
want,
sex
and I'm
anyway.
and I'm sure that maybe goes through his head,
Yes.
but
Talk to the
I don't know.
ladies first, how you did it,
For
and
me,
then
I
then
just
then talk to the men.
I just chose not to confuse myself. Yeah, I just chose not to because you have to, because you start doing that when you're still in the confusion stage and you have not healed, then you're confusing your kids.
Kids like you tell them today you have separated,
And then the next day,
and
dad
then
is
the
in your
next day you are
bedroom.
having sex.
Yes.
Yes.
So as a woman, you have to stand strong. The same way you stood strong for your family, because I can tell you, I was outnumbered in my house. I had four
The
men
only lady
against me.
and dealing
Yeah.
with 4 men.
But I had to stand strong. The same way I stood strong, I'm the one who ran that home, knew, everything. I mean, my husband was a provider. My ex-husband, he was a provider, a very good provider. But at the end of the day, yes, he was the head of the house. I was the neck. Without the neck, that head will not stand.
Yep.
So the same way you stood strong to hold your home, and women, you have to be strong for your home. Don't be
Talk
too
to them.
dependent. Don't be too dependent to these men. Make them all nini nini. No, no. First of all, have your own income. Even if you're not paying bills, I had my own income. I wasn't paying bills. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know how to pay bills when I was married. He took care of everything, but I still had my own income.
Yeah.
And you have to, the same way you stood strong at that point is the same way you have to stand strong during this process of separation, confusion, bitter, all that confusion, bitterness, healing. You have to stay strong there
So once the
in
lady
order for you
says
to
we have
succeed.
separated, no more sex, she should remain like that. No matter how much this man convinces her, she should say no, no sex.
That's a personal decision.
Yeah.
That's a personal decision, because separation, first of all, you guys are still married. So I can't come and tell you
You can't
what
have
God
sex anymore.
ordained. I can
Yeah.
tell you not to do it. But you have to be very smart.
Okay. Good.
Don't confuse your family. Don't confuse,
Talk to the
because
men.
the main people are the
Yeah.
children. And
Yes.
you men,
Talk to the men
why
directly
would
on
you
this
go?
camera.
You men, let me talk of those who run around with slave queens. That wasn't
Yeah.
my case, but
No, no, no. The men who have been separated, but they still want to continue having sex.
Kwende Newco, stop.
Yeah.
How can you, yani unataka you just want to keep on milking the cow for free? No, you got to pay for that cow, or recommit yourself to this woman to continue having sex with her, and get back together, fix whatever you have going on. And I'm not telling people who are separated not to fix their marriages. No, 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 no. You could still fix your marriage, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Don't confuse yourselves by having sex here and there. then you're bitter tomorrow, or maybe you're having sex with this man and then he leaves, goes to his house, and now you're there with emotions thinking, who is he going to see? So you just get confused and you go back.
More and more
You
confusion
just
and
keep on
bitterness
going
too.
back behind. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good.
don't do that to yourself.
Doro, let's address this thing of finance. I know co-parenting, when I posted this thing, some people already inboxed me and told me, Benjamin, in Africa, if you don't have money, co-parenting is actually impossible. There's the issue of financial support. And I was reading some articles here online that there are many, many women who have tried to push for the child support and it never worked. And those who have healed, they finally gave up. You know, like you reach a point where you give up, like this man, no matter how much I push, he doesn't want to support. And when some of them even give up, then the man starts supporting. Some men start supporting. The finance issue, how did you deal with it?
For ours, it was very straightforward. First of all, I want to make this point before I address that. For those men who are not supporting their offsprings, those are not men. I'm going to borrow words from a friend of mine. Those are not men, those are boys. So if you're here watching me and you're not supporting the mother who brought you, or any children, it doesn't matter your wife's kids, no. You can be a man sitting here and you've made 10 kids with 10 baby mamas. The same way you went to make them, those are your those are you. They are part of you. Help them. Help those mothers take care of those children. Even if it's just financially, since you've gone and made 10 babies, you can be in 10 places co-parenting, but at least do the least you can, even if it's financial help like school fees. Just being there for these kids every once in a while. Do it. If you're not doing it, you're a boy. And I'm telling you here with my eyes open, unless your spouse is making it impossible for you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So finances.
So finances for you,
finances for me, I mean,
like Ken O'Brien is actually talking about that situation. There are some exes who actually make it difficult. Benjamin, what if you try to support financially and the lady refuses? The lady says the money is not enough, or you should come back here. I don't need only your money. I need you to do this. I need, like, the burden is put, the responsibilities are actually widened to the man. But for your situation, you're saying it was easier. So explain.
Ours was easier. At the point where we're divorcing, we were at very good places in our careers. Yeah, of course, as a knowledge, I'm a nurse, and he's an engineer. So financially, we were used to him taking care of us.
Yeah.
And he still continued doing his part. Even when he moved out of the house, I remember he paid mortgage for almost 2 years through the bitterness.
Yes.
So at least when I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, this man really loved me actually.
Yeah, he can continue doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
financially, you could say you were a bit lucky, like
both of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of you had a job, you had an income. So it was not really, really tough.
It wasn't tough, and he has never had a problem paying child support. And right now we have an 18-year-old. So the child support has dwindled down,
Yeah.
Because my son's going to be 19, and once he turns 19, then there'll be no more child support.
Okay.
And that'll be fine. But he is, and him, even without child support, he's been assisting us, once in a while. After the healing, remember that part.
After the healing. Before the healing, I don't know, did he...
Before the healing, he still
People are saying there, that, like Michael Rushoki is saying that what you're saying is just general knowledge. Yani ni kama tu unatuchezea.
No, see what you're saying? No,
was it like...
I'm talking from experience.
There are politicians who are tycoons. They are billionaires. They still don't pay child support.
Yes. So
yeah.
Look at the situation like the Abby situation. I'm sorry I'm bringing our BP here.
There are people who are really, really wealthy, but they still don't pay child support.
Yeah,
and then there are people who are so poor. They are so poor, but the woman wants a lot of money from this guy, and he has no money to do that. So those people, You don't represent them, of course.
No, so now let me represent the other party too. I
Yeah.
mean, as a woman, we are set to be on survival mode. If this happens, I can do this to make this work. So think as a woman, move on with your life. This man will follow you, and that money, eh, he'll atakupatia baadaye if he's a good man. And if you're a good man here and you're sitting here saying that the woman is not allowing you to support your child, and you don't have an account where you're putting that money that you could be supporting your child to give your child later when he's of age, then you're fake.
You're a fake man.
Yeah, you're a fake man. Yeah.
Because there are men, there's so many men are complaining there on the comments.
No,
Simon
yeah.
Joroge, co-parenting with an ex is tough. Michael Rushoki says, this lady is just talking general knowledge, of course,
Yeah.
or people who are well off financially. There are men who, you say the men who have money and they don't want to support, they are boys.
Let me tell you, there are two different sides in this world. There are those tycoons, okay? I wasn't in that situation. We were comfortable, okay? And then there are the poor people. Either way, you've brought a family to this world. You are living a certain type of way, maybe as rich people, as middle class people, as poor people. Whatever kind of help you were giving at that particular stage of life you were in, you better continue. It doesn't excuse you. And if a woman is difficult and they're not taking your money, open a side account. Put the
Keep
money
putting
that
the
you
money
say,
there.
this is my baby, James. I love James so much. This is the $40 I want to give James every week. Let me put it in there. And that account is growing. But if you're sitting here and you're a man and you're saying the woman refused to take your money and you don't have that account that you're building for your son or your daughter, you're a fake man. That is,
Okay.
I'm just telling you straight up. There are ways that you can there are ways that you can reconnect with your child.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we have talked about the finances. Obviously, your story, the part of finances were not really tough for the two of you. And let's talk about briefly about
I mean, they were tough in divorce court.
yeah. in
I
the
can
in
say
the court.
it was tough in divorce court. Yeah.
What made it tough? Please tell us. What was it? Because you have to agree how much money.
It's asset division, you know.
Yes.
We would sit down and say, okay, this is what it is. You keep the house. I'm not gonna bother you, and you keep your 401k. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm like, no. When I got married to you, you were a security officer, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
You're an engineer now. So whatever you accumulated there, it's my effort to. You know, those little petty things, they're petty, but they are huge. They're huge, especially in this country. They are really looked into. And this country is for mothers and children.
The US is for mothers and for children. So anyone who's in the US,
Chunga. A divorce can be more costly for you
for you as a man.
as a man than just staying in the marriage and working.
And that's what Ken O'Brien is actually agreeing with you, that your ideologies are very tailor-made, mostly for the American setting. Of course,
yes,
he already understands what you're talking about.
But Kenyans, come on. Okay, we allowed people to come to Kenya and changed us to start believing in churches, changed us to be westernized. Why are we not taking the whole package? Why are we taking the Bible and forgetting our ways, and then we're not taking the whole package? Let's take the whole package and just look at things. See ati sasa Mogusi. Now let me talk about. I'm sorry, I switched into Kisi.
Yes.
Like this Kisi man, he wants to read the Bible. He wants to do things in a westernized way. But when it comes to marriage, he wants to be this tough Kisi man that a woman has to do this, a woman has to be. No, that doesn't make sense. That means you're fake. So you either stay traditional kabisa and wear those chingo balls and all that stuff, and have your woman worship you, kneel down, and everything.
Yes.
But don't do half and then choose where you want to be traditional and choose where you want to be westernized.
Good.
No, let's take the whole package.
Thank you.
But still, women respect your husbands. I'm not telling women not to respect their husbands.
They should.
As westernized as I am, I was brought up with parents who are very educated. I mean, my mother was a career woman, but still I served my husband. And people
As
used
a
to look at me
wife.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I served him as a wife
Okay. Good,
because
good.
that's my husband. Yeah.
That's your husband. Let's talk about briefly as we wind up. Thank you everyone who is watching. Continue sharing the video. If you're just joining here, you have missed 1 hour of amazing experience and story about Doroh raising 3 sons. And after divorce for more than 6 years now, they have finally become friends with the ex-husband, and they are doing this together. Doroh, I want you to
Friends with
briefly,
no benefits, okay?
friends with no benefits. There's no sex, there's no nothing. It's specifically for the children. There's something called inconsistency, where the parent comes and then disappears, or the parent lies, I'm going to give you something. You know, children, as I teach kids, my job as a teacher, when I lie, and I know that kids take lies very, very personal. Any parent who lies to the child, I'm going to call, I'm going to buy a gift, and then they don't do that, the child will never forget that. I'm sure you know that. So I
Yeah,
want you to I
I
want you
never
to address,
experienced that.
yeah, I want you to
Wow.
address
Yeah.
any parent who is on and off. They are called on and off. That they are there for the birthday this year, and then next year they are missing in action.
Those are parents, and I said, for the for the male species, those are boys.
Those
And
are
for the
boys who
and
are
for the
just
female
there,
species, yeah, those are confused girls.
the ones who
Because
allow, because there are women who allow this man to come conveniently after he has sent some money. Let's say this ex sent some money that helps this woman for maybe 2-3 months. So the woman says, okay, at least he sent money for once, let me allow him to come and see the child. And then of course then the man doesn't send money, which is inconsistency. And then the woman again allows the man. Would you say
don't let
the
money.
woman also has a problem? She is also being confused,
Yes,
allowing this person, allowing this game to go on.
yes. First of all, it shouldn't be about money. If a man really wants to see his children and he's a genuine man, hata akikuja na Oreos, the way they were saying Hamo was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm using this. Hamo is my friend, so I'll
Yes,
use
of
this.
course. Yeah.
That's a man who cares about his children.
So long as he has come, even if he's empty-handed.
Hata kama ako empty-handed, he just wants to be there with his children. So it doesn't have to be an exchange of money that, oh, I'm only allowing you if I see money. It shouldn't be there. But if there's that man who promises things, or that woman who promises, because there are also women who have left their children, they're not in their lives,
Yeah.
and the men are raising these kids.
So you give fake promises. I will call, I will
So
buy
those-
you,
yeah,
I
those are
will
not
take you on
mature.
vacation.
Yeah, they're not mature. They're very those liars. When it comes to men, they're boys, and they need to grow up and be men, and know that these are human beings that they are raising.
Don't
These
give
are
fake
human beings
promises.
that brought to this world. And on the other side, for girls, there are girls in that situation where they've dumped the children with a man, and they are not there. Maybe they're just out there having fun in life. It really, that's not a, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a standard procedure here, because women, we are nurturers. We're not supposed to leave our offspring, but they are there. We have them.
Yeah.
And those are confused girls. So those are not people that even these children should depend on as parents.
Bonnie Ras, I can see you just joined us. Ask Doroh if she was ever in confused stage. Yeah, you already talked to you in confusion for more than 2 years.
Yes.
And because you just joined, I think Bonnie Ras just joined us. You missed the
But
part
you need
where
to go watch the whole video.
watch the video. Doroh was confused for more than 3 years, where she wanted to stay, to walk away, to have sex, not to have sex, to allow. You didn't say that. You didn't say that, of course. Everyone who is going through a separation, whether you are married or you're not married, there is that state of confusion, especially you have a child. If you have a child. So, Bonnie Rush, please make appointment to watch a repeat here on Facebook or on YouTube later on as we finish this talk. So, Doro, one more last thing I want to ask you. Your story is just so smooth, Doro. I
Maybe
don't
next
know.
time
I don't.
I'll do this again. I'll do this again, and maybe I'll come with my points organized in a better
Okay.
way.
I want
Yeah.
you to talk about the control because control. I know a lady who is going through a divorce somewhere. I will
Mm-hmm.
not mention her. They have 5 children.
Ooh, okay.
5 children, and through the divorce, it comes with control. Excess. In my video on YouTube, I talked about the stalking, and the number one people who stalk others are exes. Your ex-boyfriend will stalk you a lot. Where is Doro? Who is she dating? Is she happy? Is karma beating her? And I mentioned something to do with control. Most stalkers or exes still want to control. They want to control your life.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know who you're dating. They want to know if you are actually dating. They want to know who is having sex with you at the moment. So that control becomes a big problem for people who are separated. And
Mm-hmm.
there are people who are watching here, the ladies, if I ask them that their exes are still controlling them, they don't want them to date again.
The
How have you
excess,
managed
it's
the
a man
control?
thing. I
Yeah,
think
how have
it's,
you managed that?
uh, as I said, we're in the healing stage. I'm not going to say that my ex-husband is going to atakuwa na shangwe na vigelegele just to see me with another man.
If you have another man, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be shangwe and vigelegele. And our situation, uh, it's a little complicated, but he's we have grown to respect each other. So as much as there'll be hurt feelings, maybe for me or for him, based on what I'm doing or based on what he's doing, we have approached it in a very civilized manner, knowing that we don't want to lose where we have reached, with our kids. Like we can't mess that up because we're in a very happy place. So
Everyone is
even
happy.
if
The bitterness has gone down so much.
so even if John comes and sweeps me off my feet and marries me,
Perfectly okay.
I am not going to I'm not going to talk bad about my ex to John. You
No.
hear me? John will know my ex as this is the father of my children, and probably they should even develop a relationship at some point. And I'm not going to encourage my ex-husband to talk negative or be sarcastic, because that's what happens. Be
Yeah.
sarcastic about my John, Don't do that. So you have to be very, very intentional and strategic in how you do these things.
Allow the other person to move on. Allow the other
Yes,
person to
yes,
date. Allow
yes.
them to go on with their life. Yeah.
You have to.
The men have, I don't know, men have, men are very tough. Men are very jealous. Like Monari Denilson is saying, for me, I can't manage that seeing my ex-wife with another man, with another
I'm looking at the
Mnyankole.
comments.
Yeah. So tell the men. Tell the men. I know men who are watching this, and that lady who shared her story going through the divorce. Actually, the man does not want her to talk to any man at the moment. She doesn't
She's
want that.
allowing it. She's weak. She's allowing it. Get a freaking restraining order for these men. Excuse my
Yeah.
language. Now, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Here, when you say freaking, it's not insulting.
Yes.
Get
Let
a,
the
get
lady
a, get
go
a,
to the
keep
to
the
the
man away.
police. Yeah. So if a lady is being controlled that she shouldn't date again, she shouldn't move on, what are some of the advice you can give such a lady to do?
Get a restraining order on this man, first of all, and keep him off of you. Because if he's controlling you, na mnawachana, if he's controlling you, why is he not in that house being your husband, being your loving, whatever he's supposed to be?
Good as he should
Why
be
is he
there to
not
have
with
all
you?
the power. Yes.
He should be there to have all the power of you. If he's not there and he's controlling you, that man is gonna kill you. If you don't take care of business real quick, that man's gonna hurt you and your family. And we've had situations in America where a man has killed his wife and all the kids. Why leave a situation get to that point? So
So
women,
the
we have
people
to
who
be
are going
strong.
through this, please pay that to attention. After you have divorced. Evans Nyabuto is saying you are really westernized, but we're doing this talk to speak to people. It doesn't. It doesn't. It
I
doesn't
wanna
need.
answer. I wanna answer Evans. Evans,
Yes. Uh-huh.
I came to America when I was 19 years old. I've lived more than half my life here. I have no choice.
You have
Sorry,
to
sir.
be. Yeah, you have to go with the flow.
And please, I want to tell you to please be westernized. It's actually a very good option of life. It
It's
is.
much more peaceful. I can
It's
imagine if I
peaceful.
have divorced and then I'm controlling this woman. I don't want her to date any woman because I'm not westernized. And I want peace. I want peace. This man thinks that if I control her, she doesn't date, she doesn't get married again, it is good for me. I'm a man. I'm still a man. I'm still in control. But at the end of the day, I think it's so so sad to even know that actually you're trying to control her, but she's still sleeping with another man. You're putting a lot of pain to yourself as a man, I think.
Yeah, that please just try to be westernized. It's peaceful. That's all I can say.
it's it's much more peaceful, I think. Honestly speaking, man, my
You
fellow
do
man.
things in amicable ways, it's
It's
peaceful.
much more peaceful to just
Yeah.
so that you can also have your time to focus on another woman. If God wills that you're now going to find a better woman, you have all the energy and the time to focus on the other person instead of focusing on another new woman and you're still on your ex. Yeah. All right. Let's pick some few questions from the viewers as we finalize the last segment, which is your general advice to young women who are trying to co-parent. General advice: just talk to the ladies who are single mother. Most of them follow my shows. They have sons, they have daughters. Some of them are far away from their children, and they are struggling to see how best the man or the father can reach their child. Your general advice, even though you have not experienced that, as a woman and as a mother, what would you tell them?
General advice, first of all, if a man does not want to see his kids, it is not in my strength to make him see the children. What I have power for is to remind my children that their father is there, to speak good of their father, like not to mess their minds. But it's not in my power to make these men who does not want to see them see them. So ladies, just be this is for ladies, just do your best for your children with what you have at that point. And another mistake ladies make, don't try to bring in another man quickly to replace the father of those children, because that man
Yep.
can also come with their own complications. You have to be very, very sure, and you have to have gone through healing before you even try to attempt that, to actually permanently bring another person in your life for your children. So, for the men who are not taking care of their children and then turning around and blaming the lady that she's not allowing me, check, stand in the mirror and ask yourself the question: have I done everything possible, or what am I doing? What am I not doing that is making this lady not let me see the kids? Have I done well by my children? Have I done good by my children? Because there's no normal woman who will try to buy you from the children if you're doing good by them. By the children, not by her necessarily, by the children. So it for me, it was easy for me to continue spreading love to my kids in the stages of bitterness and revenge and all that. The father of my children, still, he traveled the world with these boys
Yes.
without
Yes.
me. They made a lot of trips. We had planned for 5 years we are going to Australia. It happened, the trip for Australia happened when we were not together, but he
Yeah.
still made sure he took the boys there.
Okay.
So just do your best. When you're doing your best as a man, when you're doing your best to pick up these kids, take them to a park every Friday, when you're doing your best to pick up the children from school, the kids know mommy takes us to school, Dad lives in the same town. Dad picks us up. He buys us chipo, or he takes us to his place and cooks for us some nice ugali and nyamachoma before we go home. Let that consistency be there. The kids will see you're doing your best, and this woman will not keep you off no matter how little you're doing. It doesn't, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be Bill Gates and give so much money. No, just a little effort you're putting will not make a lady keep you away from these kids. So those men who are complaining, they're not putting in enough effort.
Just do your best,
Do
and
your best.
no abnormal woman will say no. Of course.
No, no.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Doroh, for that piece of advice and encouragement. I hope some of us, we are learning, and we are going to try our best, the fathers, the mothers, to make sure that these things happens. Lily is saying true, mature talk. Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you,
Lily. And so finally, any question that you'd like to ask Doroh here before we finish? We are now moving on to the last part of our talk, which we had discussed earlier on before coming live. Doroh, was you were on social media through blogging. Some people blogged you, and they didn't write very good stories about you. Can you address that? And what would you like to tell the bloggers? The bloggers have not yet come to me. I know with the time they will come to Benjamin, and I'm prepared for that. I don't know if I'm really prepared, but bloggers are watching this. The blogger who wrote story about Doroh and posted it on social media and even on Google, what was it about, and what would you like to talk to bloggers?
I'm not going to out myself if not everybody saw the story here.
Yeah.
I'm laughing about it now, but about 2 weeks ago, it wasn't a laughing matter. It was. It actually. I'm a strong woman, but it reduced me to tears. Bloggers are bloggers. I've had different talks with the people who have been through what I'm going through, and they have to make their living in some kind of way. And so, if they have chosen me to write flashy, negative stories, I mean, flashy negative, because if a blogger is writing something about you,
Yeah.
they're not writing something really positive.
It has to be negative. It has to be very negative.
It's negative, and it's not necessarily true. I don't know what to say. Whatever they say.
Should they continue? Is that part of also earning a living? The bloggers who are watching. I don't know, blogging. Let's ask the viewers. Do you think bloggers do the right thing to write negative things about people online? What do you think as a viewer? If somebody wrote so much negative stories about you as a man or as a woman, and they publish it and put it on social media, how would you feel, and what will you react, and how will you react? So,
and bloggers, what is your problem? What is the problem with bloggers? Why does it bother you about who someone is dating or what someone is doing with their private life? It shouldn't bother you. You don't have to just.
But they're looking for money. They're looking for money. They have to pay the rent.
I hope that money is good, because then I want to be one.
Yeah.
Hey, Benja.
If you didn't see the story, I think the story was, I looked for your story online, of course. If you go and Google Doroh Oh and just try to find Doroh Oh's story. But that story was finally pulled down.
Why are you advertising that?
Yeah, okay. So anyway, you have addressed that. I don't know what you would say. If a blogger is watching this now, what would you tell him or her?
If a blogger is watching this, I'll tell you, Kwenda Uko, you will not be able to break me. I'm one tough cookie. Keep on writing. Yeah. The more you write, the more I'll flourish. So keep on writing.
Bloggers. Okay, we will not dwell so much into
that you and I are dating. So go.
They will write, oh, Benjamin is dating Doroh.
Yeah, Doroh. Yeah, go write that. That's a good topic. Please.
Okay.
Get off from the old stories.
Better from the one they wrote. Okay. We have two questions here quickly as we wind up. Monari Denilson is asking you, Doroh, What can you tell those ladies who say all men are dogs?
Are you telling me to advise myself too?
Probably you told your ex you're a dog.
No, not really. Not really.
Yes.
But
But those
men,
ladies who call men dogs,
okay, one
what would you
thing.
say?
Okay, I don't think when a lady calls you a dog, they're really trying to do it to insult you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all men are dogs means that men are the same. And honestly, you guys are the same. The way you guys process things or you process life is not the same way as ladies. And I feel sorry for those ladies who are trying to make a man think the way they think. A man is a man.
A man is still a man at the end of
A
the day.
man is a man. A man could be sitting with a pretty lady right here, and another pretty lady passes, and they just turn and
And he
look.
will turn. Or he
That's
would be
just a man.
and
There's
the
no,
man will still or the man will still be
yeah,
chatting with
man
another
wants
lady who
to,
is not even pretty. He would be busy
yeah, and the
chatting with
man
a woman
wants
who is
to,
not pretty.
yeah. So don't sweat those little things, you know.
Yes.
This is what I used to do with my ex, by the way. When we were married, I mean,
Ah,
we used to make it fun. We used to do
yes.
it. We're at the mall, maybe walking, and I can see maybe his eyes swayed a little bit, and he's looking at a chick who's walking towards us. I'm like, hey, yeah, she has a good bust. And they'd be like, oh no, I was just looking at the top. Hiyo material
Of
ya
course,
hiyo
no man
blouse
will admit
yake,
here. Yes.
hiyo blouse yake inaonekana material ni kama curtain.
Yeah.
And I know my husband at that time is not a kind of person who can even tell material ya curtain, material ya bed sheets, na nini. You know, we just laugh about it.
Yeah.
If we're
So
somewhere,
those ladies, they
somebody,
shouldn't sweat on so
yeah,
many things. Yeah.
help your man even see sometimes. If you're out there and you see somebody with a really nice behind, hey, mwambie, hey, man, did you see that? Something.
Yep.
Just make him be free. Don't make him akue ni kama naiba just by. I mean, macho hayana pazia. So
Okay.
don't make
Good.
men to try to process things or do things like you. Men are men. Yes, men are dogs. It's actually true.
Yeah.
Men, you guys can sleep with a woman with no emotions, as long as a woman just says yes.
Yes.
And
It could be a
and
divorce going
you
on,
love the
the
wife.
divorce from the law courts, and then the man will say, okay, today's
It
hearing was
doesn't have to be
so
divorce. It doesn't
hard.
have to be divorce. Look at
Yeah.
slave queens. Look at sponsors. Those sponsors have strong women at home. They have wives at home running their homes.
Beautiful, yeah.
They're beautiful, by the way. But they're out there with young girls doing things. And they really don't have maybe a connection with those girls.
It's just
ile
sex.
connection kama vile unapenda bibi yako.
It's just sex,
sexual.
yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are wired differently. And that's why you're dogs. As we are not wired like that. I mean, I have to dig you.
Okay.
I have to feel you before we even
Yes.
get there.
Okay. One more question here. We're winding up. Sam Jr., yes, I have a question. How can I create a good and a mature relationship with my ex-wife in order to create a good, long-lasting and loving relationship between me and my girls? I don't know if he means the daughters or
Yeah, I think he means the daughters, yeah.
the daughters.
And
So how can he
just go
create
back
this?
and listen to the video. Just go back
Listen
and
to this
listen to the
video, Sam Jr.
Yeah.
Some of the things that you can do. Already Doroh talked about them. Please watch on the YouTube. Finally, let me see here. Grace Mwende Tuva. Benjamin asked Doroh, what could be the most reason why most of the women tell their kids that their father is dead when the kid asks for their father? Should they respond like that? Remember, he is not dead.
No, don't do that.
Don't tell the children that your father is dead.
Can you imagine you being told like that by your mother? Imagine
My
the
dad
love
is
you
dead.
Imagine the love you have for your father. And just because they're having domez with your mom, and your mom tells you your dad is dead and he's not dead. Imagine the
He's
way
alive.
how you feel, how you would feel. Can you? And then you're doing that to your child? No, don't.
Even
do that.
meeting him again, I will
Yeah.
feel like I'm meeting a ghost. You know, it's like
Yeah, that
this
is very petty.
this is a ghost.
Yeah, that's very petty. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay.
Don't do it. Period.
Finally, let me see here. I think we are done. We have completed our talk. Doroh, speak to the Naivasha in Kenya where we come from. There was a Naivasha Safari Rally event, and some of the videos circulating online, mostly they have been young ladies, drunk, and absolutely very, very drunk, some of them being carried, lifted up by their fellow women or fellow friends, of course. Speak to the ladies who are drinking alcohol now or who are planning to start drinking, or ladies who are already addicted to drinking and smoking. You, as Doro, what is your experience and about alcohol, and what would you tell any lady who is watching this video now?
I hope we have some Vasha victims here. We called it Naivasha. Hope we
Yes.
have some Vasha victims here. Man, it was embarrassing. Just everything about it was embarrassing. And yes, there were actually people in Naivasha who could afford to be there. And they went there for the love of the rally and they enjoyed themselves. Na walikuwa wamejipanga. And then there are these young girls who were carried there by other people's husbands or other small boys. And chances are you're a young girl who went there maybe with only 1,000 shillings in your name. So you figure there, this man does whatever, or defiles you in all sorts of ways, and then buys you all the alcohol, then leaves you there. And we had a lot of cases like that, where by the time the man is done with you, they've just left you there. We need to have a talk and talk to the girl child. You are reducing yourself to something that I can't even explain. It is very, very sad that you can actually give your body for a bottle of Gilbey's or a bottle of whatever that man can buy for you, or whatever few shillings that man can give you, and then still have sex with you. Don't do that. It is so sad. Kenya is becoming like Sodom and Gomorrah at this point. And I think Vasha was a version of that just this past weekend. I was not
The young
there.
ladies, you think the young ladies are trying to compete to drink the way boys drink?
Okay. Yes, actually, and this is for any person, for young ladies and for any man. If you drink alcohol and it alters your mind to a point where you don't remember what you did, you have no business drinking that alcohol. Alcohol is supposed to be a social drink. You sit down with your friends if you have to drink and sip on it and have fun. That is if you have to drink.
If you don't remember what happened,
If
something's
you're
wrong.
in a position where you don't remember, you're being told what you did. The first time you're being told what you did and you don't remember, cut it off. Leave it alone. Alcohol is not for you, because that means alcohol is running your life. And it's going to run you down totally.
Sooner, after a
Especially
few
women,
months, a few years, it's going to be too hard for you to deal with it.
Yes, it's going to run you down. It's going to control you. And you're going to be in a position where you'll be taken advantage of. Can you imagine if I don't remember what happened? How am I going to remember how many men raped me?
It's hard.
Because
It's
I'm so
hard.
know.
It's hard.
So
It's
you
actually
don't
hard.
know
Yeah, if you can't remember what happened, and when you're drunk, anyone can do anything. As you said, men are dogs anyway. A man can do anything. A man can actually rape a dead body. I think a crazy man. Yeah. He can.
I'll talk
So long
out
as
of
the woman is not resisting and she's lying down there on the ground or in bed, a man can do whatever he has to do and move away because the woman is not resisting.
I was brought up in a lifestyle where there was a lot of alcohol growing up, I grew up in Kericho. We were, a clique kind of a town, parents a little able, so there was just a lot of alcohol, even with me as a teenager. But I never drank. And I'm not saying that my family didn't drink. Of course, my family, friends, everybody, they remember me as the girl who did not drink. And it doesn't mean that I wasn't hanging out and having fun with them. I would still be out there, and I order they used to tell me to order ginger ale because ginger ale looks like alcohol, so that I don't embarrass them. So I didn't drink. And the first time I actually even started drinking like a glass of wine was when I was 34 years old.
34 years old is when you
34
started.
years old.
Yeah.
I just started sipping wine here, there, and drinking does not control my life, does not run my life. I can drink a glass of wine in 3 months, or I can choose to drink a glass of wine every day, but Doroh will be Doroh. It has not changed me. And the day I will notice that that wine has altered my mental capacity and I'm doing things that I didn't remember, I will just leave it alone. You don't have to do it. You don't have to impress people by showing them how many shots you can down as a girl, because it
Yeah.
is so unladylike trying to compete with men on how many shots you can. I'm not saying girls cannot take shots, those who can handle shots,
Yeah.
but you're not trying to compete with. I mean, you're selling your body for shots just to impress these men who have taken you out, watch you down shots, and then open your legs later. That is wrong. Don't do that. What you
The
got,
ladies who are
what
watching
you
this,
carrying,
yeah.
let me say one more thing. What you're
Yeah.
carrying, and I don't have a better way of putting these, I have to be candid about this. What you're carrying between your legs as a girl, I'm telling you, is it's not even it's worth more than gold and diamonds and everything to these men. Guard it well, and you will be respected. You will be. I'm telling you the truth. But when you're
Wow.
just there umejiachilia like Naivasha, you're bringing your value, really, you're bringing the value of just the girl child down, of all of us women down. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
talking about the value of, I had an aunt who told me something that, you see, all these things we are talking about, even this co-parenting, somebody might actually become a mother, not plan to become a mother, because she was drunk. Out of alcohol, she had sex, unprotected sex, of course, didn't was not on control, birth control, and then she became pregnant. Now she's a mother, and then she has to fight with this guy for the child support and the co-parenting that we are talking about. So it's a genesis. It can be one of the reasons why so many people are fighting. This man was having sex with the lady and had no plans to have a child or even to be together with her. But out of alcohol, the woman has put her into this situation. And as you said, what she's carrying between her leg. You know, when a woman opens her leg, my aunt told me, when a woman is having sex, like I do on my raw sex talk on Wednesdays, when a woman is having sex, a missionary position, she is opening her legs wide. She's receiving this man. She's receiving this man's sperms. And at the end of the sexual intercourse, she is actually receiving a human being. And then after she has received this human being that she has to carry for 9 months, it's not just 9 months. Then she has to do this for the rest of her life to take care of this human being. And it could have been something that could have been avoided if she was not drunk or she was responsible enough to understand that what I'm carrying, every time I'm opening these legs, it is so powerful to any man to sleep with me. This thing can cost so many things in my life if I'm not careful for the rest of my life. And that's a message that I want to pass to even you as a man. Of course, I'm a man. As a man, as you're watching me and you're listening to my words and my voice, yes, we make mistakes. But if you are in a position to avoid making this woman become a mother, if you are in a position not to subject her to because you don't want any child with this woman, so please do a favor to her, not to make her a mother if you know from your heart you are not going to be responsible, you're not going to take care of this child, you're not going to be there in their lives. Just do whatever you can to avoid making this woman pregnant. That's what I can say as a man. And I keep on singing and saying this even to my younger brothers. Just don't do that. You can have sex as much as you can, but don't make a woman pregnant. Don't make her a mother, you know?
Supporting that. I'm not in support with you on that. Why
Yeah,
do you have to
don't.
have sex with this person when you're not in there? Why? You don't have to have sex as much as you can. You don't have to.
Yeah,
Honor
I'm saying,
somebody, marry somebody, make a commitment to
make a
somebody.
commitment here. I'm saying, I'm not encouraging them to have sex because the generation is people will still always have sex. I don't know whether your sons are having sex.
That helped me.
In as much as you're going to have sex, and this is a man who is over 35, over 30. I mean, this is a very responsible man. I'm talking about a genuine responsible man who knows that sex and unprotected sex equal to making a child. So if you don't want to go through that stage of making a child, then just don't do it.
True.
Yeah, but I'm not encouraging people to, you can have a sex as much as you can. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that please don't make somebody a mother if you're not going to be responsible. That's what I'm just saying. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, let's finish this. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Doroh. Thank you for having been with me on this talk. We took it to 1 hour 42 minutes, but it is what it is. We had to go on and on. I really appreciate your time. I know you are having your nap and you woke up to do this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really, really hope that we can do this again. And thank you for your time.
Everybody that came to watch us.
Yep.
And I appreciate you guys just sitting there listening to me yapping about these things, either about my life or things that will make your life better. For me to sit in front of you doesn't mean I've been a perfect person. It means I made my mistakes. And I'm sitting here to help you not make the same mistakes. So that's where we are. We teach because we made mistakes or we have experience.
Nobody's perfect. Doroh is not a perfect woman. Benjamin is not a perfect man. We are not perfect parents. We just share our experiences and to encourage somebody to think twice before they make the same mistakes.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. I wish you a nice evening. No, afternoon. It should be afternoon, eh?
Yeah, it's afternoon here. It's 3 o'clock, actually.
All right. Enjoy your afternoon, and I hope to see you again.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Doroh. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our talk. I hope you learned something. Please like and follow this page if you're watching for the first time. We appreciate your company here. Remember to follow this page. Click the follow button right now and share this video in your timeline. Leave it there. Somebody will bump into it. You can copy the link of this video and, of course, post it on your status, on your WhatsApp. Include some wordings there. Benjamin and Doroh speaking about co-parenting. You never know. The same discussion we had could be helping your younger sister or your older sister or your brother or your younger brother. Don't get this information and knowledge just by yourself. Extend it to your friends that you care for and even family members that are going through this thing about co-parenting. So do me that favor, share this on your timeline. And thank you so much. Thank you, Doroh. Thank you, the viewers. Thank you, commented. Thank you, shared the video. And thank you so much, those of you who tagged friends here on this timeline. When you see powerful videos being done online with any other person, even if you don't follow them, so long as the message speaks a lot of volumes and something that you can learn as a man or as a woman, always share that and leave it on your timeline. You have 5,000 friends on your Facebook account. 1 or 2 of them will come across to that video. So always share when you see something interesting and something powerful. Goodbye. Enjoy your afternoon or your night or your evening. And thank you for keeping us company. See you in the next Bold and Raw Talks. And goodbye. God bless. Let me play this song here by Q Chief as we wind up this talk. Q Chief, Ulinikataa.
akaniokota, akanilea, akanisomesha, nikamthamini, akanithamini, nikamwita mama, akajibu mwanangu, leo nimekuwa, kanisimulia. Inauma sana unajua, inakera sana unajua, eti mtu babako yupo ila kujali wala kupendi, ana time na wewe. Inauma sana, inauma sana, moyo wangu sijui kama utaweza msamehe, moyo wangu sijui kama utaweza, sijui kama nitaweza. Nimejaribu, nimeshindwa kumsamehe, mimi siwezi, siwezi. Mungu namwachia, Mungu Baba namwachia, Mungu Muumba wa vyote. Ukanikataa, leo nafaa, maisha yameninyokea.